Robert Kelly, aka that nasty man in Chicago, will likely spend the rest of his life in prison, as it was just announced a couple hours ago that he's been found guilty on all counts in his federal sex crimes trial. And this is the one just in Brooklyn. All right, now keep in mind, R. Kelly still got trials in Chicago. That's another federal trial. And he's also got state trials in Illinois and Minnesota. So the jury started their deliberation on Friday afternoon. They had the weekend off. They took about half the day on Monday, and they reached their verdict that on 9 federal counts, including racketeering, sex trafficking, human trafficking, obstruction of justice, and kidnapping, R. Kelly was a guilty man. R. Kelly's team called about 5 witnesses over the couple days that the trial went. R. Kelly never went in front of the stand himself. He never spoke. His legal team called a handful of his ex-employees, associates, and you know, to be real with you, these people took that stand and under oath said that they had never seen R. Kelly do anything or abuse anyone. As a matter of fact, they went out of their way to say that R. Kelly was chivalrous to his girlfriends. Prosecutors, however, called dozens of witnesses to the stand to refute the defense's testimony and poke holes throughout it. Prosecutors' witnesses straight up said R. Kelly had a small team of managers, bodyguards, and assistants who rounded up Kelly's potential victims before the singer groomed them for unwanted sex, among other things. If you remember, Jocelyn Savage, who lived with R. Kelly for years, was one of his girlfriends. She actually became one of the centerpieces of his story when he was first arrested. Gerald Griggs, who represents the Savage family, told TMZ that the conviction today spoke volumes and accountability when it comes to people hearing black women and believing their stories. He said there's now the hope for the family to be able to reunite with Jocelyn and continue being able to build back their love and relationship they had with their daughter. You know, R. Kelly has been locked up for about 2.5 years now, close to 2.5 years. You remember that classic interview that he had with Gayle King in which he, maintained his innocence. For R. Kelly, it's simple. He's looking at 10 years to life. The sentencing for this conviction that he just got on all those counts will be in May 10th to be exact. And there's a good chance R. Kelly gets life in prison. That is where we're at, man. You know, all the R. Kelly fans out there, this man is one of the most talented musicians, and I'll stand by that, by the way, of all time. He's got one of the greatest discographies of all time. But he maybe did some things that were not legal. Like, two things can be true. This man could be a great musician, but he also maybe could have done some things that were not good. I just keep referencing back in my head. Every time I think of R. Kelly, I keep looking at this picture online that surfaced back about last year when it's R. Kelly with, I think he's like 36 years of age at the time, and Aaliyah, God rest her dead, who was 15. And the image is so disgusting to me. It's one of the most nastiest images I've ever seen in my life. They're dressed in the same clothes. It didn't sit well with me when I saw that image, and this entire case hasn't sat well with me. I don't even bump R. Kelly's music right now. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I love R. Kelly's discography. Like I said, one of my favorites of all time. But I put him to the side over the last couple years. I would like for you guys to let me know, how are y'all handling R. Kelly's discography? There's no longer allegations, rumors. This man has been convicted of serious things, including racketeering and kidnapping in regards to underage women. How will you move going forward? Can you separate the man from the artist? Will you still listen to R. Kelly's music? Are you still trying to step in the name of love at the family reunions? Talk to me. Let me know. For me, I haven't been able to listen to it in good heart, in good favor over the last couple years. I'm not ruling out that I will never listen to it. I said I had to pull back and kind of remove myself from the situation. Now that the man has been guilty, I actually don't know if this makes me look at his situation like, okay, now the man is doing his time. I feel, like that's enough. I can listen to his music in good faith. Or do I double down and say, y'all, no, this man was guilty. This is why I'm not listening to this man's music. I actually don't know where I side. I guess only time will tell. Let me know what you're doing, though. Do you still bump R. Kelly or not, as he has now been found guilty on nearly double-digit amount of charges in his federal case, in which he's likely to do the remainder of his life in prison. Again, still got Fed cases coming up and state cases as well down the line. I mean, this is not looking good